A lot on the line. What do you think of the lineups? I mean, we're seeing a lot of different heroes.
Yes.
That's what I'm really enjoying.
Yeah, the first thing I was going to say was what an incredible adjustment from both teams. There's basically no repeat heroes here from what we've seen. So Gaimin Gladiators are bringing out 5 heroes they haven't played in this series so far. On the side of nouns, they're bringing... Is that also 5 new heroes, actually?
Well, Windrunner, right?
When did they play Wind?
Wasn't that last game?
That was Gaimin.
Oh, you mean just in the game?
Yeah, so
in the game
nouns
in
themselves have not played any of these 5 heroes this series, and Gaimin hasn't played any. So it's a complete redo of absolutely everything, and it's just a battle of the ideas, like who has the better idea. I like a lot of what the panel said about pacing. I think the Gaimin lineup thrives in playing super aggro early on, which is, you know, their bread and butter. However, nouns have shown really good strength in fight selection. In this series and the series against Team Spirit, they were very good at being just waiting it out, finding the right opportunity, reading map movements, and avoiding ganks. And that skill set is going to be put to the test here because you have to avoid bad fights and not get rolled over. If you do, I think they have a pretty promising mid-game ahead of them. If Alk has an okay game, if Beastmaster has an okay game, you will scale and you will become really fearsome. But yeah, watch out for those first 15 minutes.
So any of these facets, since these are a lot of new heroes, do any of them speak to you? I think the only thing that, I don't know how many Windrunners we've seen as support, but she did go Focus Fire instead of the Whirlwind. That's pretty much the only one that stands out to me.
Yeah, I mean, you're not farmed enough to really benefit from the Whirlwind. With Focus Fire, you can sometimes find side lane ganks on a single target that's farming, or you can maybe kill off a support in a team fight. Whirlwind is just flat out not a good facet if you don't have damage items. And Windranger 4s a lot of the time don't really get there. Maybe you get a Maelstrom. But
I don't know. These days, though, Cinder,
yeah,
position 4 does feel like they end up going carry at some point. You know?
The other thing about the Focus Fire, and also part of the reason why they put this hero on support, is the Centaur matchup, who wants to buy Blade Mail, right? So if you have Focus Fire, you're actually choosing who you hit, so you can avoid those potential pitfalls of Centaur just messing with you in fights.
So another hero I want to talk about is the Crystal Maiden. Not a hero we get to see very often. I mean, Frostbite, very good against creeps, and there's one tree ant for Dyrachyo since it's gigantic. What are your thoughts on her?
Yeah, she's a pretty hit or miss hero in my experience recently, because you have certain things, like you pointed out, the Frostbite is really good here against Stampede and against tree ants, but you're also one of the, in a meta that is a lot about tankiness, Crystal Maiden never really gets there. She dies really fast. Yeah. So Fly has to be very cautious with his positioning in this game. And it's also, on top of that, Crystal Maiden's like ace up her sleeve is generally her ult. That's hard to use this game. Skywrath can stop it with a silence instantly. Monkey King can stun you from 1,000 range away. Stampede can get his whole team out of trouble. So you're dealing with a couple of downsides, but the good news with Crystal Maiden is she's a nice protective assistant to Alchemist in this lane. I think that they work pretty well together. You offer some kill potential, and you're a little bit of a lightning rod, so to say. So
mostly for the laning stage is what you're saying.
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
But obviously, Gaimin Gladiators, this is like a really high skill game in draft, because it was a lot of you do A, so we do B, and then the next team was like, oh well, they made that adjustment, so we make another adjustment that we weren't planning. So we've already talked about Windranger wasn't carry because of the Centaur. Now, Crystal Maiden was picked to counter Nature's Prophet. Well, Nature's Prophet is just going to, you know, a lane that Maiden isn't in, right? They're just keeping these matchups dodged, essentially, from both teams that they don't want.
Yeah. As the Lotus battle is upon us, and Yuma comes out prevailing in this scenario.
Yep.
And, I mean, Centaur has been picked very commonly against the Windrunner carry, but this is a position 4.
Yep.
Obviously, the Stampede is just always going to be good. So I wonder if there's going to be a difference of a build here. Like, do you buy Blade Mail in this game?
I don't think you should. I don't think there's enough upside against the other heroes in buying Blade Mail. Alchemist is pretty good against it because he's naturally regenerating a lot while he's fighting. Against the Beastmaster, I think he overpowers it if he goes Ags as well. So I would rather see Ace just focusing full on. I feel like this is a really good game to just get some... I don't know, do you need the Blink when you're playing with Mid Monkey and Nature's Prophet? Maybe you still get Blink, but I think just Crimson Pipe, some sort of boots, if he even wants them with horsepower, we'll see. Should be pretty stable here.
And of course, you failed to mention the cart for Nature's Prophet later.
Yeah,
very.
Would love to see that because it's fun.
It is fun.
Yep.
As Gunnar finally does hit level 3, Lelis is actually out-leveling the Beast as of now, just slightly. In terms of CS, Dyrachyo is having a very good time leading the way in the CS for this game overall.
If I had to pick one hero that is the single best safe laner in the first 3 minutes for CSing as carry, it's this one. Nature's Prophet is expected to do very well.
Yeah, that's why he's considered the best body in ability draft. His copy gonna take a lot of damage here. Quinn just casually kills him. My goodness. Using the Mischief to get under the tower without drawing aggro. But that Jingu is something fierce. I mean, Monkey King against melee heroes in general is pretty rough. But, I mean, Dragon Knight a lot of times can at least survive, but not the case this time.
Yeah, we were talking about prior to this game, you were suggesting Timbersaw, which I think would have also been a really good pick for Gaimin. But I think the reason they value Monkey King higher than that one is flat out just the lane itself. Against a Timber, Dragon Knight can float the lane, as you said. He can survive and do okay. Monkey King is really rough. And Quinn is exceptionally good at laning on this hero in particular. So he's showcasing it right here. 28 and 14 against 15 for 3, and Dragon Knight is jungling on level 4.
That's rough.
That is not great. Fortunately for him, he has the Fire Dragon facet, so he can at least farm somewhat efficiently.
Indeed, as Fly's going to find a little Skywrath Mage action here, but Tofu is pretty fast. And CM is not.
Correct.
Polar opposites in move speed, it feels like.
Absolutely.
Poor thing. But you know what you get when you pick her.
And that's another interesting thing about this game from the support perspective is a lot of the supports we see being popular in the patch right now have a good way of clearing waves. These two are two of the ones that have the weaker wave clear that we've seen played in this stage of the tournament. Crystal Maiden, Crystal Nova's okay, it's pretty good, but Skywrath Mage's wave clear is pretty bad.
A copy. Getting ganked under the tower. Quinn is just taking all the tower hits because of the Jingu. Not going to lead to a kill, but you can see several heroes for both teams have made their way to the mid lane.
Yeah, and that's good news for Dyrachyo as he gets to play Nature's Prophet against Beastmaster one-on-one, and that should be very easy for him. But I suppose on the flip side for Yuma, getting a little bit of a break from the Skywrath harassment is also quite nice.
Yeah, that's true. One of the more annoying heroes to play against for sure. I mean, how fast does Dyrachyo want to get active on the Nature's Prophet? I mean, we've seen some really early ganks. Lelis can be spotted by Quinn. Won't lead to anything.
Oh,
the Skywrath
Quinn wants to steal the rune.
CM.
This is important.
Fly attempted TP. He's fine.
Yeah, he's coming down bot to cover the rune, but will he really cover it?
We'll see. Frostbite onto Quinn. He's still doing so much damage. This is under another tower.
Oh, they covered their rune. That was very important. This was the play I was looking for. Quinn was moving over at around 6:45, but he got intercepted midway by the Beastmaster, so he couldn't get to the rune.
Oh, they're going to spot the stacks. Obviously, the Beastmaster, you know this is going to happen as Fly just casually right-clicked down by Quinn. And this Monkey King feels like such a strong hero in this meta right now. Boundless Strike onto Gunnar, using up the Jingu stack.
Dude, it genuinely feels like Quinn can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, this facet this has got to be a top 5 facet in the game.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It is unbelievable.
It is incredible.
The fact that it's good on support and carry. There's Quinn. Now he's dewarding. All right. Copy. He's going to be found. Is he actually stuck in here?
Oh my. No.
Oh, okay. Well, now he is. He finds Stellar on the other side. Walks right past her. Nice shackle from Lelis. Boundless Strike to follow. Then there's the first stampede of the game. Copy's dead again. Oh, dear. Ancient Seal now onto Lelis. And can they... I'm not sure if they can even take these stacks, but they're going to keep an eye on it, of course, as Quinn is continuing to pressure. We'll get on top of Gunnar, who's not level 6
Surely.
yet, so Jingu stacks again. Kills off the boar that looks like a lizard.
I mean, he's zoning the Beastmaster from getting experience. He's just killing the whole wave, and with Omni Knight in his back, they can't... How many heroes are you going to rotate to kill the Monkey King? Like,
unbelievable.
Can you even kill him with 5? I'm not joking. Like,
Blood Grenade onto Ace, but the power shot misses. Copy and company really need to find something. There's the Frostbite from the south, so Fly will ensure that they at least get something on the board for
finally.
now.
In the meantime,
oh dear.
Gunnar.
Jingu stacks again, Boundless Strike, easy pick off for Quinn. Celery just there for moral support.
You talked about after game number 1 how Quinn always had Gunner's number and then they stopped laning against each other. Well, guess what? Quinn misses the old days of just beating Gunner in lane, so he's going to bring the lane to him. Quinn has been laning bottom for a minute on his mid Monkey King.
I've already dumpstered mid. It's time to move bot. Sorry, Gunner. This is just terrible for now. They're going to lose the tier 1 bottom. Question is, what is going to happen to these stacks? I mean, I'm not sure they've even been able to stack anymore anyway because of all the pressure that Quinn and company has been providing here. Celery now level 6.
The worst part for Gunner is this is not what he was used to. This is extremely unfair situations. He's playing against a hero that's 3 levels higher than him in a favorable matchup, just camping his lane.
Ace, there's 3 members of Nouns here. Get some D wards though. And Fly
Still will get that Blade Mail plus triple bracer. So.
And hey, Quinn is making it to the top lane now, it seems. Concoction is going to be applied to him. Quinn's at half HP, but again, Jingu stacks are insane. Alchemist dead. Double Edge is going to find him. Lilas with the TP, not to be. 10 minutes in, it's 7-1, 4K lead for Gaimin. This is snowballing out of control already.
We're saying Nouns watch out for the first 15 minutes, and well, even the first 10 have been tragic for their dreams of starting in the top 6.
And not to add insult to injury, this is a 5K lead against an Alchemist. Yeah. So it's worse than it looks. Man.
Damn, you're so pessimistic, aren't you? Lie.
He's level 4, Cinderin.
Yep, that's another pessimistic comment. Tragic for their dreams of starting in the top 6.
And not to add insult to injury, this is a 5K lead against an Alchemist. Yeah. So it's worse than it looks. Man.
Damn, you're so pessimistic, aren't you? Lie.
He's level 4, Cinderin.
Yep, that's another pessimistic comment.
Well, Tofu's level 5.
Nice.
Is that okay? That's optimistic.
I don't know.
Does not have Mystic Flare. How dare he, despite winning this game so far. Yuma with the concoction. Doraccio will be the recipient. TP support is coming. Gunner is level 7. Can he get in range? Yes, the Dragon Tail will ensure it. You don't even need the Primal.
Close, but no cigar. Maybe they can get another one. No.
So second kill on the board for Nouns. Requires 4 of their heroes to ensure it.
It's going to cost them a mid tower as well.
So Ace did end up going for the Blade Mail, by the way.
Yep. As mentioned a minute ago. He did indeed.
Oh, you did mention it.
Yep.
Okay. Don't listen to you half the time, of course, because you're usually wrong, because he did say he wasn't going to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I was wrong. Thanks for pointing that out. That's very pessimistic of you. Quinn, playing with his food here.
Yes, he can do whatever he wants at this stage.
He loves wolf, classic food for the monkey.
On top of Fly, he's going to get Frostbit. Concoction. Doraccio is going to make his way over. Instant repel for Quinn, though. And Celery is there to ensure that he will live. Going to try to focus down. Big hoof stomp onto 2. Down goes Yuma again. Blood Grenade applied to a few heroes, but still, Gaimin are fine in numbers here. But there's a Primal Roar from Gunner to ensure the kill onto Quinn. That is definitely a good sign for Nouns, as Ace trying to TP out in the cover of the Blade Mail. He will actually do so, but still, a 3 for 2. Nouns will take it.
Super important for Nouns. I mean, this game was falling completely apart, but the Monkey King kill is worth $1 billion gold for Gunner. So he will now show up with a private island called Helm of the Dominator. That was half of Gaimin's lead down the drain. They just bit off a little bit more than they could chew there, and Nouns were ready to get that punish. Nice shackle shot from Lelis, and the Roar gets them a couple of kills. Lead down from 6 to 3. 6 to 2 almost even.
So is the Helm, I haven't been seeing the Helm lately on the Beast Mess. It's usually been the Ag, especially with this facet, but is this because they're behind, or is it just better this game in general?
I'm not really sure what the right approach is for Nouns in this situation.
Oh, Gunner.
Oh, hang on.
They're coming for you. Yeah. He's got the tomato creep.
I mean, this is where you could pump the brake a little bit as Gaimin, but they're just going to keep rolling.
All right, they'll just take out the creeps.
Nice Helm of the Dominator. Easy gold for Quinn. That's all it's going to offer so far, and they will take away the Ancients as well.
Look at this play. This is for the 14-minute Wisdom.
It's very early.
It is, though, yeah. Copy will take out the Ancients.
So early.
I mean, the problem is Gaimin can probably just take theirs, so it's just going to be a trade.
Yeah. I mean, that's why they're going there, right? They know they can't protect their own against Monkey, so they're hoping to at least get the 50-50 split.
Duracho's Courier's taken out, so they are aware that nouns are in the area.
Courier's being killed left and right. Quinn, not going to pursue Gunner. Looked like he was thinking about it, but yeah, it should be a split here. He's just probably even going to join the party. They were assuming that nouns might be on their own, but of course not. So split here. Fly will get his level 6 at minute 14, and now he will die.
Yeah, Quinn, aware now, needs revenge for his Wisdom Rune. They built up a really strong relationship over the years, and Fly will get dropped.
And he'll get dewarded for his troubles.
I mean, even a trade at this stage of the game, nouns will take it.
Yeah, yeah. That's why this thing that happened top was so important. You know, now you get a 14-minute Radiance, and it's so important not because the game is stable now, but because there's hope of reaching stability because of that fight. If that hadn't occurred and Gaimin were just kept on rolling, they would probably be 8,000 up now. It's within striking distance for nouns. One more good fight, you're in a position where Alchemist gets to play his game.
Yep, and we're gonna, okay, Repel already used, so Quinn just gonna walk that off. Celery very slow. There's a Radiance being shown from Yuma. No connection able to be made. I mean, the Repel just so strong. So what is, obviously nouns made a move there, but what is the next step for like the power spike? I'm guessing it's gotta be something Beastmaster related.
Yeah,
I be going for the upgraded helm.
Yeah, maybe the Overlord plus Dragon Knight BKB, perhaps? I'm not sure if that's what Copy's actually going to go for.
Yuma, Mystic Flare, he's just going to stand in it.
Yeah, that's a big
Wanted to try to maybe deny himself with the concoction, but it's not to be. I don't know how you play against Monkey King that has a lead. It's ridiculous how much mobility he has.
Yeah, and it's not just Monkey King that has a lead, it's Monkey King that has a lead and a personal butler. Walking after him as best as he can. Omni Knight is actually a quite good look for a Squire, so he's really embracing his role. Just following Quinn around, doing his every bidding, which is generally, repel me!
Oh,
Squire! Squire, I need assistance!
It's like the old Pugna.
Yep.
Ace will TPing down to the bot lane to control this slight push that's occurring in this tier 2 top in the meantime. It's going to be just a freebie for Gaimin. So Quinn has the Orbital Corrosion with the Gleipnir already. And we'll be going for the Shard, which we've been seeing a lot of Monkey Kings prioritize. People have gotten so much better at actually using the mobility aspect of that Shard.
Yep.
And of course, it's just like before, I think they didn't used to have the Tree Dance effect on the Boundless Strike. That's been a newer addition. So
yeah, it definitely got upgraded as well. So it's a combination of multiple things. But I would agree. Even back in the older version, the weaker one, it was probably undervalued, and players got better at playing with it. Gunner gonna get found out.
Gleipnir versus Primal Roar. Gleipnir is winning because there's 2 of them. Jingu from Quinn ensures the death of Gunner again.
This is a gone tower. I don't see any way of defending this for nouns without a buyback. And they are just not even going to bother. They'll try to spend the time to progress their builds. But for Yuma, unfortunately, it feels quite far away still. It's kind of, even the BKB is a little bit of a pipe dream right now. We're looking at 4+ minutes probably to get that. They desperately need to make some sort of progress to slow things down, but Duracho's here.
Fly is in the area though, Concoction. Quinn making his way over. This might be the first Wukong's command of the entire game, by the way. The Mystic Flare rips them apart. 2 kills in the name of Gaimin again. Nouns just cannot farm. There's nowhere that is safe against this Monkey King.
Look what Copy bought.
Oh dear. What did he bought? A 4-staff. Okay. That is a first.
He's like,
that is a first.
I mean, to be... Oh, he's dead.
Okay, not from Ace. ensures another kill.
There's a lot of upsides to Force stuff here. You can get away from, you can try to create distance from the Gleipnirs, you can get out of Skywrath ult, you can get out of Monkey King ult in particular, which is really important. So he's just, but the problem is you're buying these defensive utility items to not die, but when are you going to kill anything?
Yeah. Again, Primal Roar versus Gleipnir, not fair, apparently. More powerful than an ultimate ability at this stage. Another kill for Gaimin. They are snowballing this really hard. Nouns have no room to breathe.
I think, okay, I think what Nouns have to try to do, because a lot of the kills that Gaimin are executing is like 2-man skirmishes on a guy isolated or whatever. They have to try to create a bait where they make the, they need to create the illusion that somebody is alone and then have the numbers to back them up. And in order to create that illusion, you have to sacrifice someone somewhere else. So somehow you need to trick Gaimin into thinking the guy who is alone is not, and vice versa. And that is as complicated as it sounds, but it's...
I was going to say, how do you do that exactly?
Yeah, it's a tough challenge, but it's the best idea I see here. Because if you group up and run as 5, Gaimin just aren't going to fight you, and they'll just play the map. And if you split out, Jiracho's going to solo fly as it looks right now.
Yeah, well, he's got his Treant.
Oh.
Treants count as...
Okay, so it's a 2-on-1.
Yep.
All right.
At this stage, the
nice
Treant might
gank
be worth more
from
than the Crystal
Diracho
Maiden.
and Diracho's spell.
That's
Yuma
right.
will get away. Will he? Yeah.
Are they going to dive here? They're going to try to punish this. Is Nouns. They get the Dragon Tail on top of the Primal Roar. Boundless Strike going to try to delay this as Diracho pops his BKB. Will Gleipnir too in retreat. Not sure Nouns can do anything about it. They did force the BKB, which is something.
I'm trying to think of how you can create that setup from Nouns. If you solo put the Dragon, because Dragon Knight's the guy who can cover himself the best, right? With the Blink Force. So maybe if you park him in a lane, and then you bait Alk on the other side, or you bait Beast on the other side, and you have the backup behind. It's just, I'm digging a little bit deep for solutions here, because Nouns own 25% of the map, and they can't team fight. So usually my solution in this kind of situation is, hey, you guys have to group up, smoke, try to find an angle. I just don't think that fight is winnable. They can't kill anyone under Guardian Angel, and they can't jump the Omni Knight. So
Guardian Angel, you have Crimson Guard on Ace as well.
they are going to try their damnedest. I mean,
Mech for
maybe
Celery.
with a good flank. If they find Celery first, perhaps it's doable. They're in good formation here, though, Gaimin are.
Yes, indeed. They're going to pop the
Instant
Guardian
GA.
Angel. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
okay.
That is absolutely insta-give of Yuma. Gleipnir onto 2 outside the Wukong's command. They do finally get Celery. See if they can actually take advantage of it, though. Monkey King getting really low. Quinn trying to walk away. Uses the Boundless Strike, but
Oh,
no!
the Hawk!
He gets killed by the Hawk of all units. And now the Stampede. Not going to be used to full effect because of the Frostbite, but it looks like he might be able to live here. Gunner gets taken out finally by Tofu, and now Nouns starting to fall. Hoof Stomp as a final maneuver from Ace will ensure a full team wipe. It did cost them 2 units. It wasn't really that bad for Nouns at the beginning, but the sustain from Gaimin was just too strong.
That looked so promising, but Diracho finally shows up in the end, and he's like, all right, let's win this fight. That, I actually can't believe that that turned into such a good moment for Nouns after they instantly lost their carry. They then pile onto the Omni. There was a perfect freezing field from Fly. He got a full-on channel that was uninterrupted, and they walked in the Dragon Knight and stunned the Monkey King under that. So they do find somewhat of a fight, but in the end, still, despite the stars aligning almost, they still couldn't win that one.
Yeah, and Yuma was not that far away from a BKB, and him getting silenced basically ensured he just gets killed right off the bat.
They'll have the BKB next time around, so perhaps they can find a moment of opportunity, but the next fight will also be against an Aegis.
Yeah. Not only that,
Let's see if Gaimin put that on Skywrath or on Omni. Imagine if they actually do.
I mean, Celery, he needs to stay alive to keep people alive. Surely the Aegis is for him.
I'm guessing Quinn is the better choice, right? Like, Diracho could buy back TPN.
Yeah, I think it's
Quinn is probably frontlining the most.
good job, Cinderin. You're
Hell
one
yeah.
For,
This
one
one was,
for 10.
I mean, this one was really obvious. I don't even want credit. Gunner.
Yeah, Stampede with the Gleipnir. and inside Sprout. He's going to use the Primal Roar, but the last right click from Dyrachyo is enough. So hard to play a game against these heroes. Monkey King gets off to such a good start, so he's everywhere. Nature's Prophet is a carry. Obviously, he has a teleportation built into his hero. He's everywhere. And he supports just butlering it up, as you like to put it.
Yeah. This Radiant lineup is incredible when it's leading. It's just extremely hard to play against. For nouns.
This would be a big kill. Is there the blink Dragon Tail into run away. We don't do damage. They were unfortunately were not close enough. There's surely he doesn't die under the cover
if he dies
of his
for this
here. Copy. Okay, they get the stun off onto the Monkey King. Double hoof stomp from Ace. Wukong's command's coming though. Yuma pops his BKB for the first time and then gets off his ult just to barely live. But Dyrachyo wants to try to finish the job. Quinn going in really deep. Shackle shot will connect. The Sprout ensures the kill of Copy. And now on the other side, Gunnar just left all alone because the rest of his teammates have either retreated or died. And this will be a lane of racks for Gaimin.
My goodness. What an absolute smackdown.
So promising for nouns after that game one.
Yeah, but Gaimin were only pretending. They figured it out. They knew what they had to do. And I mean, in reality, this game and the previous one, not really close, right?
No.
In any sense of the imagination. Nouns, effectively, they have to Hail Mary. I mean, Gaimin could leave their base if they want to, but they might also just stick around to finish the job. They still have Aegis, so nouns have to find some sort of miracle engagement by getting on top of the Omni. I don't think any other target's killable.
Yeah, and the BKB is back online for Quinn as well. So very, very safe indeed. There's a fortification. Gaimin. Let's see if they fully back or just wait for the next wave. There is a damage rune in the bottom side. They don't have vision of that though. I hear a concoction. This might be the last-ditch effort from nouns. Just casually throwing it out there, it seems.
Aces.
Tower is dead, and here comes Copy. He's going to get Gleipnir inside that dragon form, sprouted up. And Quinn going to continue to beat away on these buildings, along with Ace. As Copy gets off the Dragon Tail, they want to try to get rid of this Aegis, as you can see Lelis actually bringing everybody closer to them with that shard. But that might be at the detriment of his team, as the Beastmaster's lost. It's going to be the trade for the Aegis. And it looks like they'll get the second set of racks. Quinn will try to stick around with that Orb of Corrosion to ensure that that is the case. Still 5v4 as Wukong's command used to force everybody out. And that's 2 lanes for Gaimin. And now they will likely back away.
I'm not sure about that.
Think they continue on?
Yeah.
I mean, the Dragon form will end eventually. Then you just have a Dragon Knight in melee form.
They haven't had to GA yet, so they still have an extra line of defense that wasn't necessary.
Yeah, that's true. That is accurate. So it looks like this might be Megas. Nouns are going to have to go in here. Surely, this is the time.
Yeah.
Last-ditch effort.
Blink, Dragon Tail, and Force F out incoming.
Gale Force, very annoying. Fly taking 2 casual right. He might die to the creep, for God's sake. Gunnar gets off the roar, but there is the Guardian Angel from Celery. And you can see Yuma trying to do something on the backside, but he just gets eviscerated. Just not nearly enough damage to even tickle these heroes at this stage. Gunnar, he dies, and they're just going to call it GG. So game 3 goes to Gaimin Gladiators, and they are now guaranteed to be in front of the crowd here in Copenhagen at the Royal Arena.
Yep, that's a minimum of top 6 and in style, right? These last 2 games just